Welcome to Learn with Sam and Ash. I'm Sam and today we're going to see a sample letter which can get you 9 bands. And this is only for general training, let me remind you. There are two, academic and general training. If you don't know the difference, simply if you're going abroad for work, go for general training. If you're going abroad for studies, go for academic. Detailed stuff is provided in video in introduction. I'll put the link in the description for you. Alright, you can watch it. In fact, I'll put the link for the whole playlist of IELTS. Let's get on to our main thing, which is letter. Okay. Before we proceed, you can always message me or let's say provide your recordings or your writings where I can give you feedback. Just send a message that I am here for IELTS and for feedback of IELTS as well. I'll definitely reply on that. Okay. Now, structure and tips are being explained for writing, for academic and general both. Link for them as well are being provided in the description. This video is not mainly for tips. This video will provide you sample letter, minor tips, not detailed tips. Let's go to the question now. Now we are in the presentation mode. Here we're going to talk about the question as well as the answer in detail. So let's see the question first. In the question, you're always provided the main question as well as instructions. If you read here, this will be provided as the first sentence in your question paper. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. Now, this is a recommendation. The whole test, that is writing test, consists of two parts, part 1 and part 2. Because this is for general training, you'll be writing a letter and they ask you to spend 20 minutes on this and 40 minutes on this. So total 60 minutes. It's up to us how much time we want to take for each task. This is just recommended time because of the length of 1 and 2. If you are fine with writing essays quickly, you can spend 30 minutes on each. You can make it to 30. But they recommend it to 20 minutes because of the number of words are lesser here compared to task 2. Next is the main question. You just have read an article in an international travel magazine which contained some information about your town that is incorrect. This is the main question. You should always concentrate here. Read it twice, thrice, as many times until you don't understand. Sometimes what happens is you don't read it properly and you make a mistake here. Eventually your answer not going to be according to the question. So please pay attention to the question. It's also important. Next one is, again, extra questions for the questions, like what should you provide in the letter and also who to write. For example, write a letter to the editor of the magazine. Every letter will have this information that where you should write this letter to or whom you should address. And apart from that, we have more questions. So in your letter, you should have these details, okay? Correct the information in the article, whatever the information they have mentioned incorrect. Explain why it is important for the magazine to give correct information. And finally, suggest what magazine should do about this situation. So let's just speculate the question. Some big or let's say international travel magazine made a mistake about your town in their magazine. Now what you have to do is provide this information to them that you made this mistake and also give them suggestions that what they should do. And finally, explain the importance of their own magazine. Okay. Now, and again, like here, initially we had instructions. We have more instructions here. Writing task 1 for academic or general training both have 150 words. Okay, to write. You do not need to write any address. That means it is fine. That means you don't have to start with address on the left. Some people do that. In IELTS, you don't need to provide a letter. You don't need to provide the address. Finally, they'll let you know how you should begin the letter. This shows if the letter is formal or informal. If they say that dear sir or madam, this is formal letter. If you don't know how this works, I have provided a video especially for this, what should be written in the end and the beginning of the letter according to the structure of the letter. Okay, let's begin then with the answer. This is the sample answer for 9 bands as it is provided by Cambridge, who is the creator of the test. So you can be rest assured. Now here, as they said, we have to follow the instruction. Dear sir or madam, done. So we started properly as they mentioned and then a comma. the first paragraph always includes the instructions, or let's say the problem they have mentioned. Here the first sentence is, the latest edition of your travel magazine included in the article about Cambridge, but this contained incorrect information. We kind of paraphrased the question, which was about some magazine have provided incorrect information about your town and give suggestion, right? So we paraphrased it and we added latest edition to that. Notice that this is a passive voice written sentence. They didn't say that I have seen your magazine and I found this error, because it is a fact. If it is a fact, try to use passive voice. What is active passive voice? Let me help you with that. I will clean the door is active. The door will be cleaned is passive. The door is important. The extra information is important rather than the subject. So you don't tell them that I found this error. You tell them that there is an error in your magazine. The second sentence says that the writer described the University of Cambridge as being the oldest in the world, whereas in fact the oldest university in English-speaking world is in Oxford. So you mentioned that there is an error. What the error is, we mention in the next sentence. So we go in sequence. First, we mention there is an error or a mistake. Now we mention the incorrect information which we have provided. Third sentence would be the University of Cambridge was founded in 1209, but the Oxford was known to have existed in 1096. Now you see what is happening. First sentence was simply mentioning that there is a mistake. Second sentence, that is the second sentence, was definitely an expansion of the mistake and explaining or giving detail about the mistake. And third, the mistake has been explained again. So basically you mention something, you explain it, provide extra information. So the same pattern. First one, mentioning there is a mistake, then the mistake itself, and finally explaining, giving detail about the mistake. So this is the first paragraph and the structure. We have tried to keep all the paragraphs in different color. So it's a color pattern so that you understand the paragraph has changed. Here, the next paragraph is all about telling them how important is their magazine. Remember the questions we have seen in the letter. So a magazine such as yours has an international reputation and is extremely influential with travel companies and individuals alike. Now the grammar range here is really high. Hence GRA, which is grammatical range and accuracy, is being fulfilled, which is one of the criteria of writing. If you don't understand what this is, please watch the video which is provided as tips and tricks and the structure of writing. Let's proceed. Next sentence is, it is essential that any information published should be accurate and reliable, and I was genuinely surprised that the facts had not been checked prior to the publication. So this is just showing I don't like this fact that you are not paying attention, though you are an international reputation. You have international reputation, so please take care of that. So this is just an extension about the reputation, that I'm surprised, though you are so influential, you didn't pay attention to the details. So now here we can change the paragraph. Here they have mentioned that your reputation is important. Remember, the question second was in the explain the all letter detail. Next paragraph says that I feel that the least the magazine can do is to publish a correction and an apology in the next month's magazine. Remember the question, please suggest something for this problem. This is the suggestion. And the next sentence would be, I would also urge you to ensure that all the factual information is thoroughly checked before publication. You see, another suggestion. First suggestion is that please mention an apology or upload an apology in the next magazine, and also check that the information is being is factual, that is factually correct in the coming publication. So solution they are providing. Hence we can proceed to the end because we have mentioned all the answers. We have taken care of task achievement, which is the criteria of task 1. Let me tell you all the criteria, though they are provided in different videos. Task achievement for task 1, lexical resource, that is vocabulary, GRA, that is grammatical range and accuracy, and finally coherence and cohesion. All these things are followed in this letter very well. If you notice here, they have mentioned connective words. They have mentioned all the essays, all the paragraphs have only one information, right? Single concept. So I think this is a really well written letter, which I think deserves 9 bands. You can follow this pattern. You can also understand grammar from this. And in the end, because it is, you know, formal letter, we have to mention yours faithfully. And of course, full name, as I said, right? So in the video I mentioned, if it is formal, you should mention yours faithfully and your full name below it. No address, nothing is mentioned. Every salutation is on the left. So this is left-indented. Okay. So I hope you understand what is happening in this letter. Let's get back to the camera mode. That was your sample answer. I hope you understood it. If not, any doubt, please write in the comments. Moreover, you can also write answer for the same question and send me in the group, as I said, on the same number, which is this one, 974395253. I'll definitely give you feedback and places where you can change your grammar, your structure, your coherence and cohesion, and all the criteria for writing. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be more letters coming, there'll be more essays coming in the group itself and also in the channel. Have a nice time. Goodbye.